welcome, beautiful family, community, sangha, band of brothers and sisters, and anything in between. Here we are again, and yeah, it's good. It's good. We've been doing this for quite a while, and it's a good thing. It helps to meditate with others. And today we have, it intensifies the experience. That's what I found, and that seems to be what the actual scientific data indicates too. So that's good. So today we have a relatively new composition by Nadja, who is a dear friend and an incredibly talented woman, and deep as the ocean, which makes sense because we're doing oceanic, and it is part of the universe is friendly, and that is one of the major philosophical questions I think they pose to Freud and to Einstein, or maybe Jung. Anyway, some of these top minds at the time, and that is like the most important question that can be posed: is the universe friendly, or is it just random weirdness? And I don't think so. I just think if you do the math and look at the time, it's just not possible for all this stuff to go like this and come from nothing, and here we are, in a relatively short cosmological time. So, well, yeah. So, is it universe friendly? And that's, I named this track because that's what I felt. One of my experiences when I first listened to it. Like, wow, and that's and evolution is hard, as my friend Jeff Salzman often says. Evolution is beautiful, but it's not pretty. So we're going through things now, crazy ass wars, like things we haven't seen since World War II, as far as the destructiveness and all this. It's crazy. We thought we were over that. Well, I guess we're not. And some of us still have not gotten to the level of development, which is like invade another country and kill a bunch of innocent people because they really would like to have all their land, and it used to belong to my great grandfather. Okay, I'll kill a bunch of innocent. No, it's like at a certain level, it's just like, okay, no, we don't do that anymore. Whew, thank God. So that's one of the reasons that we meditate, is because it's been one of the only things we have found that actually takes us to higher levels of our own ethical and moral being. And we all start at square one, although it seems like some kids are like old souls and kind of get things really quick. It's like they're just remembering real fast. But most of us, we start from the infant, and it's like when you have a little child, and Sabi, you can say this, and it's going, wah. You don't go, what a selfish baby. I mean, that's ridiculous. It doesn't even, no, we're not at a point where that even applies. It takes a little longer. They have to get to be about 2.5, and then you go, what a selfish nutcase, right? That's going through the terrible twos. I love you. I don't love you. Hold me. Get away. So we run into people like that as adults too. If you've ever been in a relationship, it's a hell of a lot of fun, let me tell you. So anyway, all that to say, that Ken Wilber one time, and big teacher of mine and friend and man, who I haven't read a lot for him lately. And the other day I picked up his book and just started reading, and it was like one of the, I don't know if you've seen, I don't know, magical shows or something, but when they open the magic book, the light just blasts out of it, and that's what it was like. I said, whoa, this stuff, as good as it ever was. Amazing gift. But he says that every problem that we face as a human family on the planet right now is developmental. If we were all at a certain level of well, at least to postmodernism. I mean, modernism can still fight wars and everything, but usually it's just seen as really stupid for a lot of reasons, and destructive, and destroys markets and people and all this stuff. But postmodern at the green is where you can really compassionately feel that. And the traditional before that is like, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not wage war, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's land. It's like, love your neighbor, as you love yourself. That stuff. So there's it's there at every level, but as I think that we get higher levels, and I know people object to that. They say, well, that's hierarchical, and you're saying you're higher than my level, and blah blah blah. Well, yeah, true. One time I was with my father, and he was very traditionalist, and he read my book and he said, so you're saying I'm a level, you're a level above me? And I said, make that 2 or 3. And anyway, we both started laughing. It was a very good moment, and we loved each other a lot. And I can tell Pam thinks it's funny because she's smiling. Anyway, okay, I just crashed in my joke telling this morning, so I'll get back on track. So the problems are developmental. So that is why it is an essential task to get to these higher levels, are expanded circles of compassion, because at those levels we don't do stupid things for stupid reasons. We won't invade other people, we won't kill innocent people, we won't covet another man's whatever, and we won't just throw the trash out the window. And I'm making a lot of money doing all this stuff, I'll let other generations take care of it and not think about all the other creatures. I mean, it's all very very early development, and we all go through it. And if we manage to work our way through it. So the hope is that we will all get to a level in the not too distant future that this will just not be doable anymore. But in the meantime, it is, and we have to react to it. But hopefully, and one of the hopes of the future is, like this technology that we use, it makes meditation more effective. Okay, and so it democratizes the journey of these expanding circles of compassion. I mean, you start out, I guess, yourself, you love yourself, and then you can love your group, your family, and then your people, and then more and more and more until it gets to the point where you love the universe. When you find that the deepest nature of all things is really love. We're working this stuff out, and our job is to perfect the beauty of the universe with our lives and what we do. So so I was going to suggest, I wasn't going to talk about all this stuff, but this is what I was going to talk about. Since this track is 41 minutes and 14 seconds. So in meditation, we find that more is more. So short little meditations to get you centered and everything's really good. But if you want to go deeper and chill out the monkey and get to the point where you're open and you get in touch with your feelings and the wisdom voice, and all kinds of things can happen. And my friend A.H. Almas, who is the initiator of the diamond approach, and I say my friend because we did a podcast with him, and I just really like the guy. It was a real heart connection. He says that enlightenment can happen in an infinite number of ways. God can express itself, the ultimate consciousness, in all sorts of ways. So I don't think it has to be a Buddhist thing, or it has to, look like a Christian thing, or it has to be this or that. Can be all of those, or something else. It's the universe is really, really, really cool. So so let's kind of focus on a medicine question, which I learned from my Native American friends. And medicine question doesn't mean like an Advil, but it means something special to help heal, to promote consciousness, to heal your hurts and wounds. So the medicine question is, what is the main area of my life, the main one, that is holding me back from being all I could be right now? And just asking the question might be okay, yeah, you get it immediately because it's something you're working on. I get myself. So, but I'm going to explore that too and see if there's any other instructions, because remember, under the chatter and all the thoughts and blah blah blah, there is a level where the wisdom voices, the inner sage, that the deep, significant, soul-centered questions can actually be addressed and answered. So let's put our minds and hearts together and go there. And it's good if you focus on your heart when you're doing this. Sit up straight, breathe comfortably, deeply, and when your mind begins to wander, just say, "Come on back, mind," and just keep coming back, coming back. And that coming back, coming back, coming back, that is the practice. It's just like curling a dumbbell. It's what makes it. It begins to shift and change our brain so that we can achieve these states more regularly. And because practice, the only way to get there is practice. Like the old story of the tourist in New York, and he asked the street person, he says, "How do I get to Carnegie Hall?" And the street person said, "Practice, practice, practice." Right? So that is key. And this is what we're doing. And there's time to practice alone and time to practice together. And now is the time together. So the medicine question today is, what is it? What is the main thing, the number one thing that is getting in my way of being all I could be right now, present in my journey? So this is the universe is friendly, track 2, oceanic, and it trains our brain to stay that. Welcome back, everyone. Really powerful track. My goodness. Thank you, Nadja. So yeah, I hope you got what you're supposed to get, and if it was, what it's getting in your way, and maybe it's a negative thing, something doing, or maybe it's a positive thing, something that you should be doing. And, but it's important to listen to the voice of consciousness and conscience, because they say that the conscience resisted loses its power over the mind. So you do things you're not supposed to, and first it really bothers you. Well, you'll begin to harden against that, and if it's really a serious thing, a big thing, you can equate it with soul loss, whatever that means. Well, the way that I'm trying to mean it is that we lose contact with the deepest part of ourselves, the part where our great gifts and our wisdom are human virtues and love, and that's not good. You don't want to lose touch with that, because if you just live on the shallow, side of things, it can get pretty bad, and we're having I was talking to a good friend of mine, Mark Fischler, yesterday, and he's a meditator, he's a lawyer, he's a brilliant teacher, professor. Why? So you can see him on Integral Life. He does a lot of podcasts with Corey DeVoe, another good friend. But he's very concerned about, our addictions to these things. And yes, I have a pink one. But anyway, that's another story. And they were doing some stats that the United States poor Black children spend an average of 13 hours a day. It's certainly true with the teenagers that I've been around. And, I was a wilderness guy with teenagers for a lot of years. And it was really good. We didn't have, well, I don't think when I started, smartphones weren't invented, but as we got into the more current era, it just wasn't there. We had each other. We had the wilderness. We had the fire. We had the wind. We had the stars. We had the sun. The desert and the rocks and the cactus and the coyotes and the eagles and the bugs. And it was all there. And how do we negotiate this? How do we not become kind of zombie addicts of technology? And I don't think we're going to be able to put that back in Pandora's box. I mean, it's been released in the world. I mean, unless we have just a meltdown of everything, it's here with us. So how do we negotiate that? How do we become aware of it? And I mean, there's in the United States, and I would say probably, and would be true for at least for Western countries that I know about, that depression among young people, and suicide, and depression, despair, much worse than it has been. So while we have this great technology and all this stuff that connects us, and it's crazy. When I'm studying, I'm reading the word I don't know or concept, I go Google it, boom, there's the answer. I mean, it's a heck of a way, if you're a scholar. And of course, I awake stuff, right? can take your temple with you. So I mean, there's really good things about it. But how do we figure that out, and how do we not lose our souls in all this, and how do we develop that soul-centric capacity in our young people, because they're taking over, and as well they should. So that was a conversation we were talking about. Maybe we'll be able to do something good along those lines. And we were talking about starting academies, where young people can go and, write songs or do sweat lodges or walk in the woods. I mean, doing all these different things, or have conversations with real people in real time. And, but it can't be just a summer camp either. It's like treatment for alcoholism. You go and you spend 28 days or 3 months or whatever, and you're clean, you're good, and then you go right back into the world that you're in before. Most times it doesn't stick. You go right back to doing what you were before. So that's a huge challenge, and I really respect my friend for caring about that and bringing it up for me. So yeah, and when you have these big things or little things, keeping you from being who you are, it's a tremendous loss, because you lose your creativity, you lose your experience of I don't know, kind of mastering your skills and working on it and sharing it with others, and realizing that the world is a better place because you're here going through this thing, and in some big way or small way or whatever way it's coming through you. And that's a horrible thing to lose, and it's a wonderful thing to find, and it's a essential thing to cultivate. So anyway, thank you. That was a long one, 41 minutes and change. And yeah, so yeah, keep practicing. Have that time in the morning before you jump into the emails and all the stuff that we do, and just where we go inside and train our brains and become voyagers of our inner world, because it's vast, if not infinite, and it's huge. And the more we cultivate a relationship with it, the more we become comfortable with it, and the more that we realize it's just like drinking water. It's something that we just have to do. It's not an addiction. It's just a positive attribute that we can develop with time and practice. And usually we get there because things aren't working well. We feel a loss. We're hungry for something, and we're depressed, or whatever it might be. So it's all there. It's all inside of us. If we quiet our minds, and also you can ask for help too. You can ask for help from other human beings, and you can ask for help from your higher power, or however you see that. So anyway, God bless you guys. Thank you very much for being here. And yeah, we love you.